I'm doing. How you doing now? I think we answered at the same time. What happened in the trucking industry, Sean? Is that like the Southern bless your heart or Oh, okay. Well, it's been 25 years of the FMCSA's failure, so frustration is oh no. Hang on a second, guys. Did I forget something here? I hate it when I do this. All right, now they can hear you. Son of a
Hmm,
I always forget because the way we have to
do
do
it.
this particular show to turn off the echo. So, okay, what we're talking about, ladies and gentlemen, to catch you all up, is that Albertsons now is put. Truck drivers are calling a strike to oppose autonomous trucks and for what better working conditions, Sean?
Yes, they're also going. It's in the Dallas Fort Worth area, which is approximately 90% of the company's local drivers, according to CDL Life. Uh, they want better conditions, and they're also concerned about the autonomous trucks coming in.
Sorry, Brandon.
Our drivers are very, our drivers are very frustrated," said Michael Perez. The truck drivers are also pushing for security as Albertson management works to include language and the worker contract that would allow the company to use driveless semi trucks. Again, John, where have we heard all this before?
Well, yeah. During the silent period, we were starting to say that 25 years of FMCSA's failures have left drivers very, very frustrated. The fact that Congress refuses to perform or require performance to regulate autonomous vehicles, especially through the testing phases in places like Texas, where they're running between Dallas and Houston with driverless trucks, with nothing more than what a gentleman with a computer, maybe if they got that, and so they're basically testing on the roads, making human beings guinea pigs if anything goes wrong. So I can imagine why drivers are very, very frustrated at Albertsons or anywhere else that they're not being heard by the FMCSA. The ATA brags about their ability to reach members of Congress and the FMCSA and other organizations just don't have the clout or the strength to do it like the ATA. They have the data and they have the influence and they'll always be in it and they'll always dominate and control. They basically said that on their own website. And so here now they're pushing these autonomous trucks that are not going to benefit you or I at all. We're going to be out of jobs in the future. Some of us, most of us, probably all of us at one point in time.
Well, and that's why I say the 18-year-olds coming up and they're wanting to get into the pilot program. What pilot programs are going to be?
Well, if you listen to Elaine Chow, they have been exercising. I think they extended that pilot program too, but she was talking about there's going to be so much growth in industry in the United States that there's going to be both human drivers and autonomous to fill the gaps where human drivers can't get there. And so now they're going to have to build special roads just for autonomous trucks for safety purposes and all this other nonsense. Where are you going to get the money? Where's this big economy they keep talking about, this booming economy? We're seeing the growth of inland ports in places like Utah and other various places in the country. And the concept of inland ports is when you bring freight out of Mexico on trains, you got a place to port these trailers, and then local trucks can pick it up and move them into various directions of destinations. So they're trying to strip everything away from the American truck driver.
Well, and I believe when we brought Kim Coleman on the show a few years ago, she talked about that exact same thing, John.
She did. She did. She brought our attention right to the Midland ports. In fact, I think they're probably still in construction now. I don't know.
So I think all you ones that are listening and you're coming up in the age and the 18 to 21 group and you're really thinking about becoming a driver, you might want to think about being local because that's about the only shot you're going to have if Congress has their way right now.
Hey, Michael, how you doing? Hi, Indigo. Thank you for joining us again on another show. It's good to see you here.
So, oh, John, speaking of trucks, Daimler has recalled their trucks over brake issues.
Are we talking about Daimler?
Or Daimlers, whatever.
Oh yeah, okay.
They recalled 68 trucks. But there's only certain ones. The 2025 Freightliners, the 114 SD Business Class M2 Cascadia, and Western Star 49X. The air tank capacity may be too small, resulting in reduced braking performance. Don't you think you should have thought about that before you put it on the road?
I would think that the engineers were supposed to figure out the volume capacities for that particular vehicle before you. Hi, Michael. Before you put this all together and put it out there, yeah, that would make sense to me. Anytime you have too low of a capacity, but how hard is it to add additional? Well, that's what they're going to have to do. That's what the recall's about. They're going to have to put bigger tanks on there.
I would agree with that. Speaking of the FMCSA, John, the rule update for 2025 and what fleets need to know, from deregulation to enforcement policies, their updates could reshape the industry. Well, now the one that we know about, the executive order that the Don put down about they actually have to enforce read and write and speak in English.
Right.
I think the Blitz Week would have been a good time to round them all up.
Did the Blitz already happen, or is it still happening now?
The Blitz is today, is the last day for it.
That's what I thought. Yeah.
Today would have been a great day. But then the FMCSA puts 8 ELD providers out of service now. 8 of them.
The thing,
8 of them.
The thing about the Blitz and rounding them all up, Sean, is the executive order, I think, give them 60 days before they have to go into effect. So
right.
That's why that didn't happen. Otherwise, it probably would have happened. Yeah, you're right. It would, if that executive order came out earlier, we'd have seen a big change in the industry here these last couple of days.
But then I saw videos of ICE down in Florida. They were having complaints about the illegal aliens. And so ICE went down there and they actually found 2 that were convicted felons, been deported. They came back to the United States, so they took them off the job. They was all construction. if they weren't illegally to be in this country, they were fingerprinted right away, right on the spot. ICE was fingerprinting them.
That makes sense.
And one agent actually said about 10 of them ran away as soon as he tried to talk to them.
Yeah, that makes sense too. So in February of this year, Don Trump had signed an executive order, I believe it was, on the 20th of January, that he was inaugurated, requiring all undocumented immigrants to report to immigrations for documentation. That's what they were required to do. That's part of the process. They keep saying due process. Well, that's part of the process. And these ones that didn't, that you're talking about, that ran away, this is why they have what's called expedited removal. If you're undocumented, you're here illegally, that means you can be removed. And they say, well, no, they got court and this and that. It's like, no, they don't qualify for that. They were supposed to get documented. And so they may qualify if they simply say asylum. I'm here for asylum. Then they have to take them to the court, document them, take them to the court, and allow them to have a hearing and stuff to determine if they qualify for asylum or not. In which case, that one gentleman, Garcia, they keep talking about, did not qualify for asylum. The court actually ruled against him on asylum. So, again,
And
expedited
the
removal,
president
man.
of, but the president of El Salvador has already said he's not going to expedite him back.
Yeah, he did. He's from El Salvador. Truthfully, the problem Trump is in that is that same judge had ruled that he cannot be deported back to El Salvador. But like I said before on Common Sense Conservatives, great. So we deport him to Colombia, and Colombia says we don't want him, and they deport him out of Colombia to El Salvador. We just saved a step.
There you go. One of the things that they're going to be talking about under this new deal with the FMCSA that's been a big topic is the broker transparency. Has proposed new rules to enhance broker transparency. They're going to now have to provide electronic record of transaction, disclose charges and payments within 48 hours upon request. So my understanding is there ain't going to be no more of this 20 or 30-day pay, was what I just read.
So no, that's not to my understanding. Did the final notice come out in the Federal Register? Do you know? Is that what it says?
No, this is new proposals. That's
Okay.
all this is
Oh,
proposals.
yeah, you're doing the 8 proposals. Okay, so on that one, what they have proposed is nothing more than an upgrade or an update on what already exists. And basically for, like you said, electronic filing. So yeah, they would have to disclose everything within, what'd you say, 24 hours upon request. But I don't think it
48.
impacts 48 hours. Okay, but it does not impact as far as getting compensated. Compensated is still a whole, grace period, whatever your contract is agreed upon. So if you have a 30-day grace period in your contract, that's what they'll be required to. But this is just for the data and information.
Right.
But they're ruling out, so far they've been ruling out on their last proposal and stuff, that they can require the transparency part that everybody's looking for, and that's how much the load paid to the broker.
Well, and that was always one of the main complaints that a lot of us had as owner operators. But I still think I still like the idea, if it's actually true and going to happen, you don't have to wait 30 days for your money now. You only have to wait 48 hours.
Well, that would be nice
If I read that right.
If it turns out that way, that'd be beautiful. I mean, the capital is one of the biggest issues for owner operators, especially when you're running so tight. You're penny counting here. Every penny matters, and so when you don't have to wait for your capital and or use factoring services at 6, 7, 8%, whatever it is anymore, then that makes a difference. So that would be nice, but what I understood of it, what I read in the Federal Register, that wasn't part of it. But I could be wrong. I mean, if you're reading it, then maybe I'm wrong on that.
Well, another thing they're going to I'm not going to go down this whole list. I'm just bringing out the stuff that's been in the news. Another thing that they're going to be doing is the medical certificate process changes. This will take effect June 23rd. Certified medical examiners must electronic submit DOT exam results to the FMCSA National Register. In return, now this is the part I don't get. In return, the FM's National Register will submit that document to your state providing your CDL. Now, what's wrong with the driver just going into BMV and say, here's a copy of my certificate, and it gets sent into the Capitol? See, this is the part I don't like, because now they're taking total control again.
Well, that's what feds do. That's been the biggest gripe about federal government, right? But they're saving you a step, though, because now if you get a DOT medical exam and the doctor's office is required to report it to the national database, and the national database in turn sends it to your state of residence or wherever your driver's license is, then it saves you the step of having to go to the DMV and turning it in. I know me, I have to do it on my computer. When I get a medical exam, I have to go to my computer, photocopy and all that crap and send it off to them.
I would rather know it's getting to my state than sending it into the National Register and taking a chance something happens. Now you're out on the road, and all of a sudden, which, by the way, you don't even have to carry a copy of your DOT long form anymore because of this.
Yeah.
See, at least this way, and I totally disagree with that. And I think you still need to carry a copy of your long form, because you never know what's going to happen.
You should. You should always keep a copy just in case. But the thing about it is the federal government actually collecting your DOT physical, the long form itself?
That's what I'm understanding here.
Because what happened to the HIPAA laws and all that other stuff? Why is your private medical information being sent to? Well, maybe you don't. That doesn't qualify under this because it's not really. It's just basic stuff like eyesight and things like that. You know, vision tests and blood pressure and stuff like that. That may not qualify under HIPAA. I don't know.
Well, it says DOT exam results.
Yeah.
So yes, that would be your long form, because that's your results.
Yeah, that's exactly right. Yeah, Michael agrees with you. You're trusting the facts.
I agree with you. I agree. Go ahead.
Oh, no, I was just saying Michael is agreeing with you about not trusting the feds to submit his DOT physical. He feels the same way.
Oh, here's a big one, John. Well, Michael and I do agree on a lot of things. Here's a big one, John. Last one I'm going to read off this list. Elimination of MC numbers. Effective October 1st, the FMCSA will discontinue using MC numbers and consolidate carrier ID under US DOT numbers.
That makes sense to me. I never understood why you had to have both. Yeah, exactly. That's been the sentiment. All about the cheddar.
This move aims to streamline and registration process, reducing fraud. So what that means for the drivers now is you will have to make sure all your US DOT numbers are up to date, up to snuff, and by October 1st, you won't even have an MC number anymore.
So my issue about the fraud, Sean, is I can go to SaferWeb and find a trucking company and go, ooh, they got a good rating. And they got, say, 30 trucks or 40 trucks under their authority. The DOT number's listed. Well, hey there, Rally. And the address is listed. Contact number is listed. Everything is listed.
Sorry, I had to take care of a few things before I got on here.
You did what? I think she's got a slight delay. So everything that you need there, if you want to commit fraud, is listed there about this company. You can make fake documents right there on your computer, print it off on your printer, shove it into your truck, and go down the road, and nobody's the wiser, right? Little fake door sign and everything. Oh wait, I'm telling people how to cheat.
I was enjoying Allie sporting her new glasses.
Is that what she was saying?
I think my service is all kinds of messed up because I didn't hear y'all speak for like 2 minutes, and I'm like, well,
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah,
she
you
was
had a
sporting her
delay.
new glasses. Allie's got the new look, John.
That's what it was. Do you normally not wear glasses? I'm waiting for her to open up and show us her glasses again. I see him on her picture right there. Her sunglasses.
I think they look good on her myself.
Of course they do. Yeah,
What the
Brandon says they're
fuck?
already
So,
doing that. Yeah, I figured they are, Brandon. It's too easy. What's that, Sean?
uh, CVSA, John, they're in the news too, urged the FMCSA to limit truck drivers' convenience time.
Oh, here we go.
So usually they gave you roughly 2 hours on an average. That's what most companies gave you was 2 hours. I do know of some companies you have to call in and request personal conveyance before you can before you can take off, because so many drivers have ruined. They've just plain abused it. I'm not about abusing the personal conveyance either. That's time for you to go do what you need to do. But trying to run a load on it, no, I'm not buying that one. Not at all.
Oh well, a lot of drivers actually have used personal conveyance and finished out runs. I'm not gonna lie about it. They have. Totally illegal, and if they get caught, they'll get busted for sure. But they're doing what they have to do to get the job done. You know what I mean? You kind of.
Well, according to Transport Topics, they're making plans to ask legislatures to limit the use of conveyance time to 2 hours. Now, I don't know if that fits in a week, a day, a month, a year. I don't know all that.
I thought that was per.
They claim collecting data more than 41,000 roadside inspections, leaders at the CVSA say they are convinced that improper driver and use of personal conveyances time is on the rise, and that it's a federal crash data shows the companies that employ drivers who properly use conveyance are 4 times likelier to get in an accident.
Huh. They got data on this, huh? I would like to see some of these
Well,
studies. I'm gonna have to look. I guess I'm gonna have to start digging again and do some research because I like to see these studies. That they're alluding to. She said her stream.
I'd like to see some of that myself. Um, so with that going on right now,
Sean gets a tablet and the show just starts to change. What's going on here?
that's what happens when you spend money, John.
Yeah, you get a tablet along with your new phone and.
I just can't do everything I want to do at the moment.
Well, that's you're always held hostage to technology. Believe me, I know more than anybody, or just as much as anybody about that. Seems to me that it's always kicking my butt. It was doing so last night too, but it wasn't me that time. It was Todd.
Ah,
But
okay.
yeah, Ellison said that her StreamYard crashed on her phone, so she's gonna be a few minutes to fix it.
Okay. Well, we'll give her that grab opportunity. Uh, so really with personal conveyance again, uh, my company has pretty much said you abuse it, you lose it. Not for everybody, just for that person.
I like the way
Now,
they think.
I think I've only used mine once or twice, and it was under like 2 hours for both times. So, I mean, it is what it is. But it can also be a pain in the ass. Oh, thanks, Michael. I'm a high-tech redneck, John. According to Michael, I'm a high-tech redneck now. And you, young lady, should be in bed.
You don't see me. I don't know what the hell you're talking about. I'm not here.
She's a ghost.
Okay, I'll believe in the ghost theory tonight.
She's astral projecting in her sleep.
Okay, if we want to be all seriousness, I should be sleeping. You are 100% correct on that fact. And I even called and talked to my DM prior to going to sleep and told him he better not damn call me. And guess who the hell called me and woke my ass up? And it was an accidental phone call. He didn't mean to call me.
Sure, he didn't.
Uh-oh.
He's like, oh shit, I'm so sorry, I'm sorry.
But while we're on the subject of brokers and dispatchers, John, just this past experience, I've learned that brokers do what they need to do to cover their ass, and the drivers are left high and dry.
Yeah.
I was told to be someplace at 1 o'clock today. I show up, I can't get unloaded till 3:30.
That sounds like a dispatcher. You confusing the two?
No, but I was warned about this particular dispatcher before from another driver. I think with broker transparency, they ought to take that out a little bit further by saying there is no lying on this at all. When you say there's a 7 o'clock appointment, that's when you need to be there. You need to be there at 6:50, around in that area. There's a lot of things that the brokers have took advantage of with the drivers. It's totally bull. There's just no reason and no excuse for it.
Well, we were talking about that, was it last week or the week before, about the value of your time. And the problem is the broker doesn't value your time. He'd rather tell you an earlier appointment to make sure you're going to be there 2 hours early. And if you're running late, then oops, you're going to be on time. And the thing of it is he's not valuing your time. He's not going to pay you for them 2 hours. He told you to be there. But yeah, he's
Right.
requiring you to be there, and that he should be charged for those 2 hours because he lied to you.
So, but I mean, Brandon brings up a good point about there's too much regulation. And we've said that even when we've had senators and congressmen on this show, John. We've told them there's too much regulation.
Yeah. Well, right
and
now,
yet, though, our voices are not being heard, it seems like.
well, we have an administration that believes in cutting regulations, but they're not cutting the FMCSA, are they? But
Well,
they do tell them they have to put remove 10 regulations to replace them with one. So they did the 10 for one. That's what Trump did this time around, which is pretty nice. But the last time I was on the phone with anybody from the FMCSA, which was state here in New Hampshire, he told me, he said, well, I had my crew look at it, and so far we found 58 outdated, antiquated regulations we can remove. I'm like, great. So let me guess, your first one to put in and replace one of those 58 or those first 10 is going to be the speed limiters, I suppose.
Well, and that's another thing that's supposed to be coming up real soon with the FMCSA. And Josh Brashear out of Oklahoma, once again, reintroduced his bill about no speed limiters on trucks. If you're under a company, that's a whole different ballgame. I mean, you have to do what your company requires. That I get. But when I'm flipping the bill and I'm paying for everything, I think my truck should go with at least the speed limit of the roads. And every one of my trucks that I owned has done just that.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, I agree. I don't want to be held back, and the reason why is because you get that Yahoo's going to match speed with you when you're out in the left lane, and you get some car going to match speed. You know, they are. I've had cars get on the left side of me in the left lane, and I'm in the right lane, and they match speed with me. They want to ride alongside of me. I don't know why. I don't need travel companions, but they do that. It's common for people to do that. But when they trap you in the left lane, you're the one everybody's looking at as the jackass holding them up, when actually it's the vehicle on the right side that trapped you out there. You
Well,
know?
and I
And
agree.
there's nothing you can
And
do to adjust for it. At least when I have an open truck, I can accelerate to the maximum speed limit to get around them if they'll let me.
well, and Mistress here just had that same problem happen to her this morning. So, I mean, again, it's not. I think a lot of it's got to do with courtesy of the roads, and some people just don't know how to do that.
Well,
Yeah.
nobody really has courtesy, just like a lot of people don't have freaking common sense either.
Speaking of courtesy, these Swift drivers out here, if I'm gonna let you over on the interstate, you better say thank you.
You asking way too much from a Swift driver, honey.
I know, right?
No,
Man,
not a Swift driver. No, you should be cutting their asses off and showing them a thing or two.
let me
Do
tell
not
you.
give them any respect. What the
Don't
heck is wrong
don't
with
Let,
you?
encourage
let
her to
me
start
tell you,
kicking
I'm
with
passing
trucks.
somebody on the interstate, and then next thing I know, a truck tried to get over. Then she turned off her blinker real quick, and I slowed down just to let her over. And I was waiting for those flashers to come on. Nothing. I said, "You son of a gun! I don't let you over." And you say, "Thank you."
You know,
They
me
don't know where the light
personally,
switch is.
because I am a capital B. If I ever did that in my personal vehicle and no one said thank you, guess who the fuck is going around them and trying to do it again?
I should have, but I'm not trying to die. I was like, you know what? And it was a woman too. You know, no offense to women, but do better. Be a
Right.
better truck driver. Give yourself a better name.
Michael, I don't think it's so much a cat fight as it is that two women have got a highly opinionated answer, and we're just going to let them have it.
Cat fight? What the hell? And she said Swift. It was game over when she said that she let them in as well.
Do you
Allie,
remember
do better,
Brad?
Allie. Do better.
Yeah,
And you know what I did? I did it for another truck. I had they were getting on the interstate, and I got over, and then I let them in front of me. I was waiting for a thank you. No thank you. I'm like, well, yeah, screw me today, freaking truck drivers. Y'all all want to be a-holes. I'm being nice and courteous on the road. Yeah, but screw
Not
me.
to a Swift driver. That's where you messed up, and that's why you're getting repercussions right now. You're getting all messed up over that because you
I'm
helped a
like,
Swift driver. Number
I'm
one,
extra.
fail, fail.
I'm extra nice to these truck drivers, but you know what? I see a Swift. You know what? I got a bone to pick with every single Swift driver.
Tell me about it. And to
keep
answer your
trying,
question
John. You
before
might
you
get in
fully,
there in a minute.
and to answer your question, Sean, even though you didn't fully answer it, yes, I remember who that is.
He's the one that said it was a cat fight.
I know.
Okay.
Somebody
You could
got
talk to him
excited.
about that later.
So yeah, you're
Well, it would be a
lucky.
cat fight if Mistress was a Swift driver.
Were your expectations
Never.
where your expectations are too high there, Rally, is you expected for that Swift driver to know where the light switch is.
Yeah.
These are company trained. You know that,
What a,
right?
you know, I try to watch my mouth, but what a jackass.
Michael says the Swift driver just got free rent in Ellie's head.
See, I would say something, but since we on Facebook, I gotta keep my shit shut. I can't say it. I'll say it later in Discord, but I will not say it here.
Oh, come on.
Well, that's what I'm saying. You know, I decided to be nice, a courteous little tiny Nissan driver. I'm gonna let you over, and you want to be a jackass? You know, what? Never again. Never again. Swift drivers, you better watch out when you see a little tiny Nissan driving on the interstate. Count your days. I'm coming after every single one of you.
Holy crap!
Be prepared.
They're marked for life. I remember one time I was talking to a
And with
Swift
that,
driver. And he
no,
was so angry.
that
He's like,
was a
"I'm stuck,"
mic drop from Allie.
right? So yeah, but he was
Give me a
complaining.
second. I gotta go feed the family.
He was complaining about he was stuck in a contract with Swift, who had got trucks governed at 55 miles an hour. He says, "I don't know how I'm going to survive a year with these people, man. I don't know how I'm going to do it." That was a lot of years ago too, because I think they raised the speed limit on their trucks now, right? They at least do 62.
Yeah.
I
It
believe
depends
some of them.
on some Swift trucks, depending if they are still technically part of Swift or they're quote unquote owner operators on Swift, because those ones could actually go faster. I've actually seen some Swift trucks go 68.
They had them West Coast trucks out there running LA to Las Vegas used to do 70, 75 miles an hour. And those were Swift company trucks, day cabs. But they made that exception for that run. I always waited for the tires to fly off the trailers. You know, I didn't think them tires were used to going that fast around.
Damn.
Well, the tread did get a little thinner as time went on, John.
And
Well, I
tires are
found
so
out the
small,
other
I don't
day
think it
my
could afford
tires.
to.
I found out the other day my tires are good for maximum speed of 75 miles an hour. They're not supposed to go over 75.
What kind of tires do you have?
You know what? I don't even know, and I refuse to get out of my truck to look.
Oh, okay then.
I'm sorry. I'm too
There's
tired. I got a migraine. I don't know why I'm up.
There's some bull haulers out there that will tell you their tires are rated for $110.
Oh
They
yeah,
don't know
some
what
are.
kind they are either.
Yeah, if you
Michael,
ever want to know what
Mine-
your tires are rated for, look at your tires. They will tell you what maximum speed you could go.
I know mine are rated higher than 75, but
Michael, as long
like
as the Amazon truckers say thank you whenever I let you over, I won't have a problem with them. But yeah, Amazon drivers, you better watch out too.
Mm. Amazon, Prime, mostly
wait
Swift.
a minute, Allie. We suggested you became an Amazon driver.
Heck no.
So, Sean, I got it, man.
Sean.
This is where we make our money off the show. We're
Go.
gonna start distributing bumper stickers that says, "I'm sorry, Princess Allie," for people to put
Yeah.
on the back of their truck.
I'm sorry in advance.
There you go. I'm sorry in advance.
Mm-mm.
Dude, we'll make men off
That
it.
that one person makes me not want to be nice to truck drivers anymore and let y'all over. Mm-mm. And I say thank you every damn time y'all let me scoot over when I'm trying to get on the interstate. I thank you every freaking time. My boyfriend said, "Why are you thanking them?" I say, "Because they're being nice. They could have ran my ass over, but they didn't. They chose to be nice today."
See, I'm the one, especially in my personal vehicle, I have it out for student drivers. So if I know you're a student driver, I will purposely cut you off and do all this shit. And I get friends and family always asking me, why the hell are you doing that? You're being so rude and disrespectful. I'm like, they got to learn sometimes. They might as well learn while they're at school.
You're going to find the wrong teenager. They're going to end up getting out of that damn car.
So
Better watch out.
They can't catch me.
our other line of bumper stickers, Sean, is going to be "Hate Your Enemy" brand, and it's going to have a big old bullseye. And it's going to say, "Allie, I'm here." That's the one you stick on the people.
Are we gonna put
on the Swift trailers?
Are we gonna put down at the bottom? This message is sponsored by Lana Loop.
Yeah, maybe that might be a good association. Because you know you are fill in the blank when Allie's approaching you.
You're screwed when you're approaching me. You better be on mind your what is it? P's and Q's.
I've rode
Yep.
with Allie. I know how she drives.
Uh-oh.
And you're still here to tell the day? Damn.
I am.
I'm a pretty good driver, unless somebody. I mean, I'm not in Dallas being stupid, driving crazy.
Yeah, like one curb ran over the curb and
I'm a
another
decent
truck
driver.
almost hit us. Yes, I remember that too. Yes.
I'm a pretty decent driver. I'm a nice driver, especially when I got passengers. But when I'm by myself, I plead the fifth.
Yeah,
Mm.
that's a whole different
Ow.
story. That's how everyone is,
Ow.
though.
Allie didn't
Or
take me
majority.
into the ghetto section of Kilroy to buy cigarettes.
So we when
Nah, honey, over here we stay away from the ghetto.
do your backseat passengers often question what the helmet is for?
Sometimes. Sometimes.
Why are you strapping on a 5-point seatbelt there, Allie? Am I okay here? Shut up and hand me my helmet.
I got a seatbelt and I got a helmet per seat. So I got five helmets in here,
Oh,
including one for myself.
there you go. Got a little
It's really
Nissan
sad
to
when you
blow
actually
that
need
motor
one for
up.
yourself.
And like I said, it's on my Blitz week. Popos, you ain't gonna get me. Every time I see a white car or a black car, I don't care if it's a truck, car, I don't give a hell what it is. I'm slowing down.
Oh
You ain't
my
never gonna
god.
catch me.
I saw the other day, cops are starting to become very, very freaking sneaky because you would never expect this to be a cop car, and I literally had a triple look at it to make sure I was seeing what the hell I was seeing.
Mm-hmm.
Guess what new vehicle they got for their undercover wannabe cops
Watch
that they got now?
Lamborghini.
No, that's too easy.
Well.
Fucking Tesla.
Oh my
Uh,
Lansing.
A Tesla.
Mandy asked Michael.
What did Mandy say? I can't see the chat, so.
I'm either.
Mandy
She
says
wants to
who
know
needs
who
a
needs a
Klondike,
Klondike
bar?
bar.
And then Michael says, "What would you do for a Klondike bar?"
Oh my.
Wouldn't you
Well,
like
I-
to
Things are
know?
getting dicey up in here.
Well,
You might have to hit me up in private to let me tell you that. No, I'm just kidding.
can I buy you a Klondike bar now?
Oh my god. Hold on. I'm gonna
No.
choke on my burger.
Honey, you're not supposed to. Never mind. Mm-mm.
Well,
Not going
damn.
there.
Y'all make jokes
No.
and expect me not to freaking laugh. About killed me.
Mm-mm. Mm-mm.
Damn.
Hey, Mandy, how you
All right, if
doing?
you're going to choke on the beef, you need a little more practice, all right? That's all I'm going to say.
So,
Mistress, be quiet. I know you live up to your name. Be quiet.
Alan here says Washington is using unmarked Chargers with student driver stickers. Now that is definitely undercover.
Yeah.
Student drivers and Chargers.
Well,
Power
around
slides.
here, I saw on Facebook they had a Lamborghini as an undercover car.
That's
What was
so
it,
stupid.
Miami?
I gotta find it, but I'm serious.
Is this Miami Vice 2.0 or what?
Oh
See, Sean gets it because he was living those days. I don't know if you guys were getting that or not, but
Hey, Don Johnson was the man.
he was a man.
Of course,
in
at the time,
1981.
Don Johnson was also dating Barbara for a while.
Oh,
He did have a #1 hit for a little bit too.
oh, did he?
He actually had a song on the top 40.
I don't recall that. Don Johnson song.
Yep, he did for a little while.
You know what?
That's the only song he ever did, but he had one.
I wonder. I should probably make a trip to the gas station. I bet they have those Klondike bars. I looked it up, and I swear I've seen one around here somewhere. When I find it,
I hear mint green's pretty good.
mint green. You know, I got trauma with mint green ice cream. There was a time where I was little, wanted mint, the green mint ice cream. Oh hell no! I done threw up everywhere. Trauma. That's like trauma from my aunt's brownies. I ate too many brownies. Yep, that was a terrible New Year's.
Do you want to
Mm-mm-mm.
go eat at Denny's again?
Hell no. You know, I'd rather have an upset stomach out the back instead of throwing up. I can't throw up on my land till the world's over.
You're sure you don't want to go to Denny's again?
Hell no.
Okay, just checking.
Hell no.
I remember the last time we all went together.
Mm-mm-mm.
So
Poor
I
Brandon.
used up about two rolls of toilet paper that night. No, I'm just playing.
Say, you used 2 freaking rolls of toilet paper that night. You need to get better toilet paper. I'm not going to lie.
So somebody said
She was
something
running around
about-
like she was running around like Beavis and Butthead. I need TP for my bunghole.
Yeah.
Did you have your shirt pulled over your head when you did this, Allie?
No. No, but that's something my dad would do for sure. Not me though. I ain't that crazy.
Well, your dad. The last time I seen a video of your dad, he was running around the beach pretending like he was Jack.
Yep. I got a jar. Yep.
He was running around the beach acting like Jack, carrying some bottle.
Well,
I got a jar of dirt. I got a jar of dirt.
well, correction. I stand corrected. It was not brownies. It was fudge. I ate too much fudge, and that made me sick.
I did that with Oreos before.
Oh my life. Not the
Okay,
Oreos.
I did that with Oreos when I was younger, and of course I started vomiting like crazy. And when you have barely any light hitting it, my mama freaked out because it looked like blood, just big old piles of blood, until she turned on the light. Yeah, you don't know.
That's
Oh.
That bitch, She dropped me
Allie-
so quick. She's like, "You're good," and then called and ridiculed my grandma.
Allie, Michael has a question for you.
Uh
Uh-oh.
With those brownies, were they herbal infused?
oh.
You know, I feel
I was waiting for that.
I feel like 10-year-old me would have loved that. I probably needed that at 10 years old. My ADHD was shooting out the roof, so it probably would have helped. Probably would have gave my parents less of a headache, honestly.
You know, and I remember the days of Country Joe and the Fish. Don't take the brown acid.
John, what do the comments say?
Oh, let's see. You got the brownie infused. The following was you. I don't know if I want to read the following one. You know, you can get your fudge packed in Uranus.
Oh my god.
Michael Bratt.
Yeah, who said that? Who said that?
Michael.
Who do you think said that, Allie?
Oh my Lanta. Y'all are causing trouble tonight. Mm-mm.
You do know there is a fudge outlet called Uranus Fudge.
Oh, that's nice to know.
There's actually two places. One's in Ohio, one's in Missouri.
Well,
Yeah, there's a couple of locations,
I'm gonna have to go.
Man-
and it's
Mandy
freshly
says-
packed fudge in Uranus.
Mandy
you can't
says
beat
she
the
reads.
fudge in Uranus.
That's an
Mandy-
interesting marketing scheme.
Mandy says she won't stop at the one in Missouri because it used to be a strip club.
Well, that explains the secret recipe now.
No. Mm-mm. That's crazy.
So, do you want to know when the
That
next safety
is-
blitz is going to be?
Hmm?
The next safety blitz.
I believe that's going to be in what? They were talking June or July. Is
July
when Brent
13th
said.
through the 19th. CVSA's Operation Safe Driver Week scheduled for July 13th through 19th. As the year's Operation Safe Driving Enforcement and Outreach Initiative aimed to improving driving behaviors through education, traffic enforcement strategies, and driver interactions with law enforcement. During the Operation Safe Driver Week, law enforcement personnel in Canada, Mexico, and the U.S. will be on the lookout for commercial motor vehicle drivers and passenger vehicle drivers engaging in unsafe driving behaviors. Stay off your cell phones, people. Use your headsets, such as speeding, distracted driving, following too closely, drunk or drug driving, etc. Drivers engaging in such behaviors will be pulled over by law enforcement personnel and issued a warning or citation. Dude, if you're drunk, you better be getting more than a citation.
Huh.
You know what? Let me tell you, my eyes are so peeled. My eyelids aren't even there no more. I've been watching. Anywhere I go, I've been watching.
I'm surprised the last couple of days I haven't been pulled over, because I could admit that I have fallen asleep / dozed off while trying to even get over here.
Oh
'Cause I
my!
was up for a full 49 hours before I went to sleep.
Oh my God, that's crazy.
Mm-hmm.
Now you told now you know why I said she needs to be in bed, John.
Uh-huh.
Yep.
Full
No, but it's
49
party time
hours.
tonight, Mistress. It's party time tonight.
Mm.
Can't go to bed.
Well, at least I slept like 7 hours, so at
Well,
least I
that's
got
something.
something.
Oh, you
Yep.
got 3 hours
Until
more
my,
sleep
yeah,
than
until my
me.
DM called me and woke me up. But then I got to drive all night tonight, and then I get to go home. So I'll
I'm
be
glad
off
you
for a
got
week.
some sleep. I'm glad you got
Yeah.
some sleep. I just think that's being that's up for anybody that's too long. That's
hell yeah.
That stuff John and I never even pulled.
That stuff. What?
Well,
what
I'm
about what?
special, so.
Oh, you're special. See, even Michael's giving you hell now.
What do you say? Thank
Need
you.
to go get some sleep.
I got 7 hours. How much more do you want?
None. It's party time tonight.
Even Mandy says it's party time.
Well,
Let's freaking go.
let's get it.
Forget
so
waiting
the one
till the
thing I
weekend.
asked for was a freaking fork and napkins, and you can't deliver that, dummy. At least I got my food.
Hey, steak mistress.
God, before we go, I'm going to ask this. Did you got your food?
I got my food, but they didn't even bring me napkins or a freaking damn fork.
Did you
Like,
ask for pickles?
Ew, no, not when it comes to Chipotle.
Oh my god. Let's. All right. Well, cat's in a
On
bag.
that note,
Yeah, I got some napkins over here, and I got a fork too.
You're sure you don't need any pickles now?
I love my pickles. Don't fuck with me and my pickles, Sean.
Yeah, you tried to steal mine.
We're not doing that again. That was like 3 years ago. Come on, get over it. I mean, it wasn't a
Actually,
big deal, but you keep making it a big deal.
no, I'm not making it a big deal. I just want to make sure you got yours.
Knee slapper.
I'll be more than happy to DoorDash you some.
Sean, I don't think you're getting it.
He ain't. It went right over his head.
Yep.
Well, what else is new?
Well,
See, Michael even said it. Michael right here even said it. She just wants your pickle, Sean.
well,
That was okay. That was like 3 years ago, Michael, but he refused to give it to me. So,
okay. Well, speaking of pickles, you know where the best pickles are? McDonald's
I love pickles.
or Burger King. Shoot, even
No,
Subway got good pickles.
I don't even know if you guys have it over there on the East Coast, but it's Tommy's Burgers.
No, never heard of it.
Mm. Oh no, that's some good pickles right there. It's all juicy and just crunchy and hell yeah.
Okay, well, now that we got all the food groups out of the way, we got a couple minutes left. John, after 4.5 years, I think it's time for me to hang it up. So,
That's to my understanding. I guess you decided you want to move on. So what's in store for Sean
I'm
Mitchell in
gonna-
the future? Just trucking or?
well, Sean's going to do some trucking. Sean's going to still do a little bit of the advocacy work, but it's come to the point, maybe it's just time for me to move on a little bit. You know, during 4.5 years, we did a lot together, John. You and I really did, all joking aside.
Oh yeah. We did a
We
lot of
got some things
broadcasting.
done. You know, we got a lot of things done. We had a driver's board put together. Got to meet some great people. Now, it's going to be different for what I need to do, but I think it's about time.
All right.
But I do want to thank you for 4.5 years.
Yeah, I was going to say the
And
same, man. I was going to thank you for the time you've invested here and all the fun we've had, and it's been a blast, to be honest about it.
this week actually Allie celebrates 1 year of being here.
She's been here a year already.
Yeah, well, yeah, I've been here a year already, and John, I hate to break the news, but I got to move on too. I'm probably about to start going back to school, about to be an RN. And then I'm about to get me a job over at the hospital, so I won't have any extra time, but
Yeah,
working and going to school.
I know you've been struggling with it a little bit, trying to get in here on time and stuff because you got stuff going on. We'd rather see you
Well,
get the
I
education and
I
stay out
also
of trucking.
appreciate it. It was nice meeting everybody, and it was a lot of fun. Might be able to come back in the future. Just I got a lot of things I got going.
All right.
And I'm going to say this very quickly is a lot of people wondered why I brought Allie on. And they thought it was just because of a pretty face. Well, if you go back and listen to some of the podcasts with Allie and some of our candidates running for their respective seats, I think you'll find out Allie's just more than a pretty face.
Yeah, she's the next generation, man.
And what our generation needs to realize is that is the conservative individual that's coming up. And people don't think about that. What they think about is, what they look, what they could be, what they are, maybe what they wear or how they wear it. You need to start looking at what a person's true value worth is. It's just not a broker and a driver. It's also what does that person actually bring?
Yeah.
And Allie's brought a lot of that in here the last year.
Well, I appreciate it, Sean. I appreciate you bringing me on the show. I love meeting all these people. It was an honor. It really was.
Um, when I first met her, we hit it off, and next thing you know, bang. I actually watched Allie make a liberal cry on TikTok one night. Literally cry.
Yeah.
I heard she was rampaging on TikTok pretty good for a while there.
Yeah, you know what? That was a good time, but I think I finally grown out of all that crap too. It was, that was too much time on my hands, and no, I lost relationships, friendships, other things. Yeah, no, it's not worth it.
Yeah.
It was not worth it.
There's some people making money
You know,
off it,
and
so that's why they stick with it. But yeah, it's time consuming when you're trying to get school
well,
done and
and
stuff.
and the short time that Mistress has come on, she's brought good dialogue. A lot of our past co-hosts brought some good dialogue. Tracy brought some very interesting stuff.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Joe Brettle, he even brought some interesting stuff. Joe was just a little bit more direct than what you and I were.
People like Joe a lot. Yeah, he was in.
Yeah.
Joe's the reason all this got started.
So.
Food Bar America, man. Way back in the day.
Yeah, buddy.
Oh, Blog Talk Radio,
But
Hammer Lane Radio Networks.
that was during the big days.
Yeah. Yeah, man, you
People
can't
don't
forget
remember
that time with what was the name of that company now? Why can't I think of their name? Celadon.
That was our biggest
one.
one. Yes. Yes.
That was
Celadon was
funny.
definitely. Yeah. Yeah. I think we're the only podcast that got a cease and desist order put against a repo company.
We did. I mean, that went viral. That was pretty funny.
Damn.
Dang, that would have been nice to be a part of. Shit.
Oh, that was great. It wasn't so much the podcast; it was the flyer I made afterward and for her.
Go ahead, John. Go ahead. Tell the story. Go
Yeah,
ahead.
she just we told her we'll make you up a flyer and everything after the podcast was over. The podcast had huge reach. Don't get me wrong, but once we made up that flyer and everything, like an advertisement for her, it was all over like Twisted Trucker and you name it. It was out there and people were screenshotting it. So she's calling up Sean going, "Can you take that down? I'm getting phone calls. I can't handle these calls. And some of these drivers are threatening me. Like they want to get paid. And if I don't pay them, they're going to come after me and all this other stuff." So Sean's calling me going, "John, I think we need to take that down." So I took it down and she's calling back up going, "Can you take it down?" I'm like, "Listen, we took it down, but if they screenshot. I'm still seeing it going out there. It's popping up everywhere. It's beyond my control at this point in time."
Did we not warn her, John?
Yeah, you told her, says, "Well, I'll tell you, if this hits the Coconut Telegraph, I don't know." And sure enough, it hit the Coconut Telegraph and then some, man. That went off like a Roman candle. Yep, Celadon got wind that their trailers are being repossessed off that, and they went and got an injunction in the courts to get the repossession agents to stop, and it was great.
Well, what we had actually we found out was this repo company we let come on. They were advertising that if you finder's fee for all the Celadon trailers that were going out. So we let her come on, and she gave us only a tenth of what we should have known. Kind of funny how that works out. And the next thing you know, they were actually using Celadon trucks to repo their trailers. The Celadon trailers, taking them to a yard in North Carolina and then banging up the fees so they could get paid for it. It wasn't 3 days after we ran that story. It was all in the news that they had a cease and desist order put against them. But I think the one thing I'm proud of the most, John, is the fact that during COVID, we actually had help in Indiana making sure the drivers had a safe place to park during COVID.
Oh, yeah. That was your connection.
I think.
Yeah.
I don't brag about that too often, but Payne Griffin and Jan Hicks, I reached out to both of them, and it wasn't 24 hours. The governor of Indiana said that you can park at certain scale houses taking your break. So that, I think that was probably what I feel was one of my greater achievements.
Yeah.
The drivers board was too. We worked with the then U.S. Senator Braun, to get it done. But even still, just the fact that drivers had an option of where they could park to sleep.
Yeah, the driver's board, they used it twice. The FMCSA didn't want that, man. We went over their heads, and well, they got stuck with something they didn't want. So they used it twice and parked it.
We pissed a lot of people off, John.
We're good at that.
Oh yeah.
We're very,
Yep.
very good at that. I remember
That's my
we
one
favorite
did.
thing to do.
individual. We had a show that was supposed to be about charlatans in the trucking industry, and his name got dropped and multiple times. And wow, that really wrecked his
We don't.
day.
Well, we don't hear about him no more either.
No, he's gone.
Well, and for the record, I still don't have my purple hair no more, but I do have my tattoos and piercings. But still a conservative, y'all.
You don't have your purple hair. Was purple hair something to do with
I think you need to go back to the purple hair because it looked really good on you.
I know I missed
Just from the
it, but
pictures I saw.
you know how many people called me a liberal and oh this is just new yeah everybody oh this is just new generation. That's get out of here. Just
But
jealous you couldn't pull it off like me.
Back.
I think the one main thing, what I considered our gravest achievement, John, one of our gravest achievement we did is when we got U.S. Senator Mike Braun on the show, even though it was pre-recorded. I don't know if your ear ever recovered from me screaming hallelujah, but when you recorded it,
Yeah, so there's Sean after we did the interview and stuff. He goes, "Tell me you got that. Tell me you got that." Well, I'm like, "Well, let me go check," because we were talking upstairs. I was on the phone upstairs, but I had the computer downstairs, and I was recording downstairs on the computer. And I went and hit stop, and I assured him we had it, and boy, he was screaming and yelling at the top of his lungs, "Hallelujah!" And
That's great.
and then of course we brought on then State Senator Doug Mastriano from Pennsylvania. That was a pretty good interview. We had a pretty good luck with him.
yep,
And
yeah.
then of course Mike Collins eventually came in, and we had Mike Collins twice.
Yeah, that was good. That was fun. It's too bad he didn't come back a third time, but we kind of figured
Yeah,
once he got settled into Congress that he was going to be kind of getting wrapped up in some stuff, and it wasn't going to be so easy to get him back.
no, but the thing of it is, he did, and I'll say this much for Collins: he did take an hour out of his time to talk to the drivers,
He did. Yeah, we had a lot of drivers on.
and we did. We had a lot of drivers on that night, and some of the things that we talked about actually made it to the director of the FMCSA when they had that board meeting up in Washington. And what was it? 2 weeks later, she resigned.
Which one was this?
Miss Sanitation Worker.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, did she resign?
She resigned
Oh, that's
2
right.
weeks later.
Yeah, I think I wasn't paying much attention to her.
But the thing of it is, the drivers made that show. It wasn't us. It was the drivers.
Yeah.
They came in with true questions. They hopefully they got answers. Again, they're the ones that made it. We just provided the platform that night. So, I mean, I look at the last 4.5 years. I think we've accomplished some things. It may not be out there like we would want it, but at least now I know of 2 people, including Kyle St. Clair, who he's a very, very for the trucking industry. At least now there's 2 people that know that what we're saying is out there is being true.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because we all said it, every one of us.
Well, yeah,
mean,
that's
yeah, we could.
that's the thing about things go dating way back to 2017 and beyond. Things were said to the FMCSA that had come to fruition today. Like ELDs were going to cause speeding. It was going to increase speeding and stuff. And well, now they're trying to create speed limiters because the ELD created stress, stress created speeding, and it's still not going to work because they great. So you can, if you can legally do it, which they can't, and we're going to challenge them on it, but even if you could legally make the speed limiters, it's only a maximum speed of 65 miles an hour. Your truck won't go any faster. What about the 45 speed zone in the construction site? What are they going to do then?
I agree. Well, and I mean, no, the one thing that I brought up, and the 4.5 years I've been advocating with that ELD. You know this. My question's always been, as a business owner, why am I being forced to buy a government mandated device without doing just compensation? And I'm going to leave the show on this, that's saying the best answer I got was from Utah State Senator Kim Coleman when she said, because they can.
Yeah, she was blunt and honest about it.
And I would have loved to got Kim on here one more time. But
Yeah.
Kim became vice chair of the Republican Party in Utah, and we wished her nothing but the best. Of course, we did have the one guy running up against Romney who said, don't be talking about me about trucking until I get elected. And there's John Grosvenor still pressing for questions.
Well, I mean, it's a trucking show. What did he think?
John looked at him like, this is my podcast. You're going to answer it, pal.
Right? I mean, you don't come on to a trucking show and say, I'm not going to talk about trucking. Come on, give me a break.
I thought.
Wait a minute. Coming onto a trucking show, we're supposed to be talking about trucking?
Yeah, imagine that.
Oh, shit. Well, I did have a list of questions, but never mind. They all involve unicorns and rainbows, so.
Oh, well. Apparently, we talk about other things besides trucking, I hear. Usually not unicorns and rainbows, but we save
No, I'm
that
just
for
messing.
other shows that we are not on. Or
Why did
involved
she
with.
bring up unicorns and never mind.
That was the first girly thing I could think of, okay? I'm not girly.
Never mind.
And it didn't help that I saw a truck and it had like a rainbow coloring on it, so that's the first thing that popped in my head, okay?
I thought she was making a liberal reference, but
No, my brain don't work like that.
Trust me when I say this, John. She may live in a liberal state, but she is no liberal.
no, I've got that.
Thank you.
Yeah.
And that's all I'm going to say.
Yeah, fuck the state.
All right.
Allie, any last parting words?
No, just thank you.
Yeah, thank you for letting me be here. Thank you for trusting me for coming on the show, not knowing who the hell I was, and letting me keep coming back.
Awesome. You're welcome. We're glad
I
to have
had
you
no
on.
problem with it. So anyway, for show times and time slots, be sure to check them out at tibn.us. And John, that's all I got.
All right, guys. Well, thank you for being on with me. It's been a pleasure for these 4.5 years, and been an awesome good time. And I guess this will conclude the Independent Trucker Show, and we'll just go out with as soon as I get my thing set up here. As we always do, keep the greasy side down, the shiny side up, in between the lines. Safe travels where it is you may be going. Be good. If you can't be good, we'll be good at it, and we gone.